What's up, guys? I need to apologize to those of you guys that are watching over here on TikTok. I don't know what happened to my brain. My brain said my live was at 7:30. It was not. It was 100% at 7. So I am sure that TikTok is going to slap me on the wrist for that. I personally can't believe that I forgot what time a live stream was. It is what it is. But I do have a good excuse. I was eating dinner. I was actually eating dinner for once. I was actually eating dinner. In fact, I still have it right here next to me. So there's that. Yeah. I don't know why my brain said what it said. I don't know why my brain said what it said. But that's what happened. So yeah, I don't know. But in the meantime, let me get my, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared at all today. Yeah. Not prepared at all today. It is what it is. How was your day after Christmas? I had to go grab my kid and stuff earlier and drove by the mall, drove by some other places that I am glad that I am not at and wasn't at today because holy crap. So many people out. So we're going to work on some spicy reads tonight. I have a lot of people that are on my list already. So if you guys are on the list, cool. And if you are not on the list, there are still a few tickets. I did add a couple more for today, so I will be doing 15 altogether today. If you guys were on my list the other day, that is what I am finishing up. So instead of being on Christmas Eve, I had some family things that I really needed to attend to, so that's what happened there. But y'all got me all evening. Y'all got me all evening. And if you caught me the other day, last night, or Christmas Eve night, then I already had mentioned this to y'all. But you can get on the list for tonight. You can get on the list for tomorrow. And yes, so I'm going to start with the people that are on my list for tonight and go from there. It'll be great. It'll be fun. It'll be fantastic. So yeah, if y'all missed the spicy reads the other night, I'm just saying, it is what it is. It is what it is. And for those of you guys that saw my video and you commented, I got you, we will start sending those emails out tomorrow. If you didn't see that video, then just saying. Ariel Randall is first on my list tonight. It's first on my list tonight. I will say that it's been a very good day here on this end. It wasn't really at first. I was cranky this morning. I'm not gonna lie. I was very cranky this morning. I also didn't eat really, so there's that. But I was one of those lucky people that had the nastiest of nasty headaches going on today. All right. Well-being and health. You got it. Some of y'all have been cranky. I see the comments over there. I see that some of y'all have been cranky. Really? Already with the concealment card. Already with the damn concealment card. And it flopped out like this. Already with the concealment card. What you doing over there, Ariel? That one came out and then went upside down. So, all right. So Ariel asked about well-being and health. So the first thing you have is intuition. And then you have concealment. And this is in the middle, but this is the one that flopped out. So, like, there was no way to not see it. And then you have this one, okay? And this one came out and spun around and it ended up upside down. And this is the good fortune card upside down. Now, this does not mean that I think that, upcoming or whatever, this is like some horrendous downturn with your health. That's not what that means. That's not what I'm taking it to mean, okay? Because the intuition card right off the bat, when you're asking about well-being and health, this tells me that you know something's going on. That you feel like there's something inside the meat sack that you're riding around in that isn't right. Something isn't jiving. Something isn't sitting right. So trust that. When the intuition card comes up, especially with health matters, trust that. Am I saying, oh my God, something bad's gonna... No. But you know your meat sack better than anybody else. Case in point, I know damn well, and I know several other of you guys too, some of my moderators, my best friends, etc. All of us at one point have gone to the doctor or ER or something like that, and they basically dismissed you, saying that you didn't know what you were talking about or whatever, and they didn't do any tests, they didn't whatever, they just kind of were like, blah, 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 go on your way. If that happens, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. The fact that the intuition card came up when you asking about wellness and health, you need to make sure that you are getting your meat sack checked out. And if somebody isn't listening to you, get a second opinion or a third opinion. Because if you get 15 opinions and they all are like, well, all the tests are clear, I think everything's okay, that's different. But just one person dismissing you when you know damn well that maybe you can't walk right or whatever. The thing that is interesting is the concealment card, because like I said, it came up in the middle. And you ask about well-being and health, not just health, not just well-being. You ask about both. The concealment card. There is somebody out there that, I don't know if this is like Munchausen by proxy, or if this is somebody that is just thriving on the fact that you feel like shit. But when you feel like shit, it's like they take advantage of it. Don't tell them that you're going to the doctor. Don't tell them that your gut says that you need to go get checked out. Don't tell them. Words are not my friend today. It's a really, really weird, fucked up thing. I've seen it happen a lot. One person is always sick, and the other person soaks up all of the sympathy for that person being sick, right? They put it out there, oh my God, my wife is sick again. Oh my God, my husband is sick again. And they like play on everybody's feelings, and they get attention that way. So if you're sick, then they get attention. Does that make sense? I've also seen people that when their spouse, significant other, etc. is sick, or kids are sick, then they take that attention and they do whatever they can to be in charge of that person. You guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. So Ariel, excuse me. I'm reading too many comments at the same time. Ariel, I don't know what's going on and who this represents in your life, but not everybody needs to know that you're making sure that your physical self is good. My advice is just going to be to go get a physical. Just go get a physical. Especially if you haven't had one in a long time. Just go get the meat sack checked out. But don't tell. Just don't tell. Just don't tell. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of people be like, oh, but, if you're not telling your spouse or, your significant other or your parents or whatever, like, isn't that keeping secrets? Not if they're using you for attention. Not if they're using you for whatever it is that they're getting off of it. No, it's not. And if you know that they always kind of prey on you not feeling good, then they sure as shit don't need to know that you're not feeling good, right? I am that person that I'll be damned if someone knows that I feel bad. Headaches are one thing. I feel like I always have a headache at this point in life. So I'm like, yep, got another headache. But I'll be damned if I let people know that I'm feeling icky or yucky or whatever. Unless it's just really bad. And I'm like, hey, y'all, I can't talk. The reason that I say be very careful and really pay attention to this concealment card is because the good fortune card came out upside down. And when the good fortune card comes out upside down, then you... Let me pause for a minute here. I feel like as I'm reading this, there's two things. One is the thing that I've been talking about this entire time, and that there's somebody that they don't need to know that you are going to get checked out. They don't need to know. Because all they're going to do is do everything that they can to suck up that energy or whatever attention they can get from it. The other thing is there is somebody that truly cares about you that you do keep shit from, and you don't tell them that you're not feeling good, or you don't tell them you're going to get a physical, or you don't tell them that something's wrong because you don't want them to worry. And you need to weigh very carefully who you're telling what to. Like I said, I don't feel like this is the universe saying, oh God, you know, you're really, really sick. I don't feel like that at all, Ariel. I feel like this is kind of a warning, because when it comes to our physical health, the people around us are the ones that are going to help us out, be our caretakers or whatever. If you don't have those kind of people that you can trust, then you need to make some friends. You need to find somebody that you can trust. If you know that there are people that as soon as you say, hey, I'm going to go get a physical, they're like, oh, why? What's wrong? Or if you know that there are people that are going to prey on the fact that you don't feel good, or if you know there are people that you're not telling that you don't feel good because you don't want to worry them, I just want you to think about it this way. Like, how would you feel if you were the one that was really, really worried about someone and you didn't know how sick they were? Does that make sense? Because they were afraid that they'd hurt your feelings and so on. Or not hurt their feelings, but put too much on you or whatever. Weigh who you're talking to about your health very, very carefully. This also includes your doctors, and this is not intended to be medical advice at all, you guys. I'm just saying you have to be your own best advocate. You have to be your own best advocate. Unless you have somebody that you trust implicitly, 100% you have to be your own best advocate. When if I have to go to the hospital at all, I have to tell them, like, please don't give me insulin. Like, please don't give me insulin. Yes, I'm diabetic. Yes, put me on the gross ass shitty diet, but please don't give me insulin because it bottoms me out. It crashes me out. And then if I can't get out of bed because I'm stuck to all these things and I don't have people in there, how am I going to get candy or whatever or a glucose tablet when you have crashed me out because they give me too much every single fucking time? So you have to be your own best advocate, Ariel. If you feel like something's wrong, you need to trust your gut. But like I said, not everybody needs to know that you're going to get your meat sack checked out. Does that make sense, Ariel? Does that make sense? And you know what's bad? We all have somebody like that in our lives, and it's shitty. Like, it's absolutely, absolutely shitty to know that you have people in your life that they would 100% depend on you to do stuff, but God forbid you ask them to help you with some shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's shitty. And I hate that you have to worry about that stuff, Ariel, but go get your meat sack checked out. Go get your meat sack checked out. Let's see. Miss Suzie is next on my list. If you guys want to grab a spot on the list, you can. On my profile, both on TikTok and YouTube, if you click the thingy, if you do the clicky on the thingy, we have to be careful what we say now because we'll get flagged on the TikTok. It's fucking stupid. Suzie is next. It's ridiculous. It 100% is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. TikTok is ridiculous. People are ridiculous. Life is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. Think about it. Everything is ridiculous. I'm just saying. Merry Christmas, guys. All right, Suzie, are you ready? So, Suzie has on here love, finances, and friendships. Got it. Eternal charisma. The elixir of life. And change. You, my girl, are looking in the wrong places. Because you have love, finances, and friendships. And those are three very major areas of life where other people come into play. Do you see what I mean? Love, obviously, is dependent on someone else that you're attracted to. Finances are dependent on other people, either for a job or for sales. And friendships, obviously, you can't have friendships if you don't have other people, right? I mean, I guess you could be friends with ChatGPT, But ChatGPT is going to be like that, like, leech friend that kind of just tells you what you want to hear. All of those depend on other people. And what's interesting is, as I was turning these cards over, the first thing that I thought was, you're looking in the wrong places. You're looking in the wrong places. My advice is going to be this, because by asking about those three things, those are three, like I said, very important issues. We all have a type when it comes to who we're attracted to. Don't be looking at that type. Look completely away from that type. Like, if you like the bad guys, maybe look at the nerdy guys. If you like, you know, the big Baywatch blonde ladies, maybe look at the librarians. You all know what I'm saying, right? If you have a type and that type is not working out for you, then that's a liability, right? When it comes to finances, nobody, now when I say this next part, everybody's going to roll their eyes at me, including Susie, and I will roll my eyes at myself, okay? But as adult peoples, with adult people monies, a budget is a thing. A budget is a thing. I don't want to hear that. I know y'all don't want to hear that. It cuts into my gas station toy budget when I have to be on a budget for other things. It's stupid. But, especially with finances, no matter what it is that you're bringing in, no matter what it is that you're shoving right back out at bills, no matter where you work, no matter who you are, no matter who you live with, no matter if, you know, you're sharing bills with somebody or not. We all, I'm being so rude right now. I'm so sorry. We all have to be on a budget. We all have to grow up sometime, and we all have to be on a budget. And I will say that sometimes it's really, really hard when you have other people in your household that refuse to watch their spending, refuse to do anything at all to help you. So I understand that. Kids are one thing, you know, but I get that. Being on a budget and making sure that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep harping on that because you know what I'm saying. The friendships, though, I find it interesting you have the change card here. The elixir of life, friends, eternal charisma. Take a look at the friends that you have now. Take a look at the friends that you have now. How many of them, if something horrendous happened right now, how many of them could you actually call and expect to come get you? Let's say that you were an hour away from home and you had 2 flat tires and you were on the side of the road in a very, very shitty place and you needed help right now. How many people would drop what they were fucking doing to come and get you? Most of us only have a couple people that would do that. You also have to ask yourself, would you do that? Would you do that for your friends? Do you see what I mean? You need to start making some changes. The change card is the biggest card here. You have that charisma. Everybody likes being around you. Everybody likes talking to you. This is why people talk to you randomly in the grocery store. That elixir of life, you're feeling the need to have something else that matters on a deeper level. But the fact that the change card came up tells me that you've been looking in the wrong places. You've been looking in the wrong rabbit holes. You've been falling down the wrong Alice in Wonderland hole. So you're going to have to make a lot of changes, if that makes sense. It sucks. Absolutely. It really, really does. And one thing that I find very interesting, and a lot of you guys are going to agree with this, and hopefully this will make you feel better, Susie. 2025, if anything, has shown people the wisdom, because it's the year of the snake, and the snake is wisdom. So it's shown people a lot of wisdom. It's shown people wisdom about themselves, wisdom about everything else that's going on. The horse is coming, and the horse is how you act on it. The year of the horse is coming up. Starts, you know, the end of, or well, I get, what is it, mid-February? Beginning of February? That's how you act on it. So you guys still have like a month, 2 months, month and a half to get your shit together. This is me included. This is me included. But I will say that I went through a phase from, well, pretty much all of November, where there were a lot of people that I saw as either just straight up using me, and you guys are all going to understand this. People just straight up using me either for what I could do for them, or what kind of money I could give them, or whatever. Or they just were shitty friends. They were shitty friends, shitty people. I have let a lot of people go on about their way. I've been really looking at myself, at my house, at my wagons. I'm circling my wagons, getting all my supplies in order. You guys should be doing the same thing. It's not selfish to make sure that you are okay. Let that sink in. It's not selfish to make sure that you are okay. You should be okay before you ever try to make someone else okay. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Charlie. It's so funny. Every time I see you pop up, Charlie, I want to say Scarly. So I have to be really careful to not say Scarly. Woo. And then you throw cards. Actually, that one you didn't really throw, but it kind of, that's an it's landed face up too. It kind of did a little dance and then stopped and then was like, and off I go, and landed. And I'm going to show it to you because I picked it up exactly the way it fell. And this is the protection card. And it is kind of whopper-jawed, but to me, it's moving like this. Okay? You asked about love. I find it interesting that that card came out first and did this little dancey dance thing and then fell on the floor. You could be Scarly, you never know. I mean, you had a whole bunch of cards trying to come out just then, like a whole bunch, but you had two that came out together. So the one on the bottom is grounding, and the one above that is defense. What the fuck? Okay, so here's my advice. No. Just no. I'm going to sneeze here in just a second. It's drive me up the wall. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, no. You asked about love and the protection card flew out and kind of did a little dance and fell on the floor. That's very symbolic that it's the protection card that just did that. Tells me that your protections have been knocked down when it comes to your relationships and love. Then you have grounding with defense on top of it. So, here comes the spicy part. Here comes the rude part. What that tells me is that the people that you have been choosing lately, that you have been allowing into your life lately, have been doing everything they can to come in. Literally, you sing the Miley Cyrus song, came in like a wrecking ball. Like, they came in, they did a whole bunch of fucking damage, and then they took off. And I would bet that if you look back over your last few relationships and really paid attention, I would bet that that has been kind of the MO. So, are you ready for the more spice? Just because I am someone who also is a glutton for punishment, I'm going to advise you to just back off. Like, now isn't a time for you to be dating, because there are a few things you need to be figuring out, or you don't need to be in the love pool, okay? Get off the love boat. You don't need to be on it. Get off at the next port. Go shopping. Go have a spa day, but you don't need to be on the love boat, okay? The fact that the defense card is up there, it tells me that there has been a lot of damage done from past relationships. So you feel like you are always on the defensive when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, when it comes to even choosing who you would like to be in a relationship with. this isn't so much like, oh, your type is shitty. It is, for some reason, there's something broken within Sharlie that is like, okay, well, let me choose this person over here. So I would say to go back, and when you are ready to deal with this, because this is going to be hard. This is a hard aspect of shadow work. Somebody else needs to hear this too, I am sure, Sharlie. This is something I had to sit down and do, because I will make myself be single, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I would like to have somebody in my life. And so, I attempt to date, and then very quickly I realize that somebody completely shit in the pool, and I don't want to be in that pool anymore. You need to look at the last few people that you've dated, the last relationships that ended in, everything being completely wrecked, and then them just skating off somewhere. What is it that drew you to those people? I think that if you really look, there's going to be a common denominator. What is it that kept you in that relationship, even when you knew that you shouldn't be there? I guarantee you there's a common denominator there. What part of Sharlie is broken enough that you need to take these kind of relationships and bring them in? I guarantee you that there is a common denominator there. A lot of times we date certain types of people because we're looking to either fix something in ourselves or prove something with ourselves. One of the things that I'll just tell you, I say this a lot, in that I don't feel like I need to be dating. Don't think that I take my own advice, okay? I get on Bumble every now and then, and I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds like fun. It is not fun, and I get right the fuck back off of Bumble. But, so don't think I always take my own advice. I kept myself single for a while after I got divorced. Like a full year. I made myself be okay with being by myself. Sleeping in my bed by myself. Not having, allowing my kid to be at her dad's, and me being okay. Me not needing another human body being in there up under my ass doing stuff. Does that make sense? Because when you are in a relationship, whether it's a long-term, short-term, whatever, when you are in a relationship or you're in serial relationships and you get so used to having someone there, you're programming your own self that you have to have someone there. So I made myself be by myself for a year. I put myself in therapy. I made myself be alone, right? And then when I did meet somebody, I felt like, okay, I'm actually at a decent space where I could be a good girlfriend, a good partner to somebody. And then when that relationship ended, I was in that relationship for a year and a half. When that ended, I was single again for almost 2 years. And then another year-long relationship. And now, in January, I've been single 2 years again. Could I go out and have a boyfriend right now? Absolutely. Could I go out and have a whole roster of people? Absolutely. But you know what? That takes effort and it takes time. And I have gotten to a point in my life, I'm telling you this because I hope that some of it resonates with you, Sharlie. I have gotten to a point in my life where I like being alone. I like my house. I like my shit. I like my schedule. I like sleeping in the middle of my bed. Do you see what I'm saying? I like me, and I know I'm okay, and I don't need someone there. And I think that that's something that you need to work on with you. I saw a comment where you said you need to just date yourself for a little bit. 100%. 100%. I know a lot of people that are like, oh, well, I could never go to dinner by myself. Why? Why? It is the best thing ever. Even when you pick the wrong restaurant, it's still great. You can leave when you want. You don't got to wait on nobody. If you want to go to a movie after, or if you want to go home and put on your fat, dirty sweatpants and just sit on the couch. Do you see what I mean? Take some time and just be with your own self. Take a look at why you're dating those same types of people and what it is that's broken with Sharlie that's making you date those same types of people over and over again. I'm just saying. And I mean, that's kind of advice for everybody. I don't think that I don't see on TikTok. Also, you need to make sure you have your defenses up, girl. I don't... Oh, God, that scared me. That was a bear over there. Bear in the chair. Bear in the blue chair. You need to make sure you're having your defenses up. I didn't like that came up. But you need to really be paying attention because this came up over grounding. You need to really be making sure that you are protecting and defending your own personal space. Does that make sense? I didn't really like that the defense card came up. Before I start to move on a little bit, Lauren is next on my list, by the way. I just want to say this. I am not the person to come to for relationship workings, okay? Now, Scarly is. Scarly's been married a long time. Like, she has a great husband. I always hear all the nice little cutesy things that they do for each other and stuff like that. That is the woman to talk to about relationships, okay? Not moi. But I see all of the things on, TikTok and stuff like that where people are like, oh, well, women just aren't dating men, and oh, well, men just are this, or women just are this, or whatever. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you guys the exact reason of why things are wrong. Everybody is too much wrapped up in one of the following things. They're too much wrapped up in, or too wrapped up in how everybody thinks they look. I guess that I'm an influencer. I guess I'm an influencer. I don't see myself that way, right? But they want to be this big influencer. So everything has to be public. Everything has to have photo evidence. Everything has to look just perfect. They get wrapped up in that. They get wrapped up in the need to have someone there in that serial relationship, right? Or they get too wrapped up in I'm the best thing ever and there's nothing that's as good as me. I know some of you guys are like, well, wait, I don't do any of those. I know. It's why you have a problem finding somebody, because the vast majority of people are in one of those categories. I will say this, like when I'm dating, if someone knows who I am on social media, I don't know that that's going to be good for me. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to. Like, we can be friends. I don't want to, though. But be good with you first. Be good with you first. I think that that's the problem with this. Online dating should be way different than it is. It is literally a cesspool at this point. But a lot of us don't have time for anything else. We don't have time to go out. We don't go to bars. We don't, do the normal things like we used to do when we were younger or whatever. You guys need to make sure that you are okay with you before you ever attempt to date. Ever. Okay? Be good with you, man. Enjoy you. Be an adult. Live your own life for a little bit. So, there's the Bodhi soapbox. There's the Bodhi soapbox. Charlie is on TikTok and Scarly is on YouTube. And it's funny, I just looked up and saw Scarly's comment that she is the only Scarly. That's funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. All right, Lauren is next. So, is there a specific area you need to know about? Developing gifts. Okay. Okay. I find it interesting that I pulled one card and then this card is Learn the Truth and it came out like this, kind of whopper-jawed. I find that interesting. So now I can't wait to see what card is underneath that. And that is too many. Okay, so let me say this. Because of what you asked about and because of the fact that the cards keep pulling a lot like this, I I can see that you're overwhelmed with all of the gifts that are coming out. That tells me that there has been a big shift with you, Lauren. Finally, there was one. There's been a big shift with you. A lot of times when our gifts really start to come out in a big way, I mean, it's nothing short of overwhelming. A long time ago, it used to be, I'm going to say a long time ago, the 80s, 90s. You were a tarot card reader. You were a palm reader. You were a medium. You were this. You were this. You know what I mean? Like, you were one thing. You fit into a category. But now, since 2020, since this massive awakening has happened, everybody is a little bit of everything. Does that make sense? The problem comes when all of these gifts start to go at the same time. And I want you to think of it like this. You have a brand new box of crayons. They're brand new. They have never been used. They have never even been pulled out of the box. You have to decide what color you're going to use first. Can you use a couple colors at the same time? Possibly. Could you use maybe 3 at the same time if you hold them just right? Possibly. Could you use the entire box? Could you hold the entire box together? No. They're going to fall apart really quick, right? You're going to have one that you're trying to hold this wad of crayons and draw on the paper. Are you going to draw anything coherent? No. It's just going to be that's what's going to happen, right? So if you want to draw something coherent, if you want to color a picture that actually looks like what you're trying to convey to somebody looking at it, you have to pay attention. What color are you going to use? What color is that flower? What color is that dog? What color is this little house? What color is this? What color? You have to see what it is, what color you're going to use first. The same thing goes with gifts. If you try to use all of your gifts at the same time, it's like meltdown, right? If you're trying to learn everything all at once, and please don't think that I'm griping at you, because every one of us does it. And if you haven't done it yet, you will. And if you're like, I have never done that. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Everybody that gets into the spiritual realm, you want to learn everything right now. Everything all the time right now. You don't want to wait. You don't want to stop, right? Until you hit the wall, and then you're like, I don't want to do nothing. But you have to figure out which one of these gifts you're going to play with first, right? Which one are you going to color the world with first? And you have to argue with yourself, because it's hard. It's hard. So it does take discipline. All right, so let's look at the cards, because like I said, you have Learn the Truth that came out whopper-jawed like this. But the first card that I pulled is Intuition. And I love that Learn the Truth fell like that. And then you have Luna. Okay, so the cards are giving you a cheat sheet, which means that you have asked for a sign of what it is that you need to be paying attention to first. Moon magic. Moon magic. Dude, this is like the most blatant, easiest sign. Moon magic. For those of you guys that are like new witches, just starting out, moon magic is one of the most powerful things. It really and truly is. It is one of the easiest things to learn and one of the most powerful foundational aspects of your practice. Once you kind of have mastered a little bit of moon magic and you know like which phase of the moon you need to do this type of working and so on, bitches, you will be so much more powerful than you ever realize, and so much more powerful than other people that are like, I don't need to know what moon phase it is. Okay, well, Sheila, that's why your hex isn't working. Okay, Sue, that's why your love working isn't working. Like, if you know the moon phases, easiest shit to learn, easiest foundational aspects, and one that people overlook all the time. And I can preach till I'm blue in the face, and it still doesn't work. But anyway, Lauren, your intuition has learned the truth over it. We talked about moon magic because you wanted a sign of what you need to look at first. Moon magic. Moon magic. I know that you have on there like meditation, clairs, learning your inner world, etc. Moon magic will help you A freshling. The other day, a new witch told me she was a freshling, and I love that. Oh my God, Scarly, that's hilarious. I love that, a freshling. I have always hated the term baby witch. I have always hated the term. You know who's a baby witch? My granddaughter. She's almost 3 weeks old. That's a baby witch. If you're just now getting into the practice, you're not a baby. You're a practitioner stepping into their power. So I really, really hate the term baby witch, and I don't like using it, right? I don't know about the terms new broom. I know that a lot of people like to use the term new broom. It doesn't jive with me either. It doesn't mean that it's not a good term, because it really is. It's just not, it doesn't flow with the Bodhi vocabulary, right? It doesn't flow with the Bodhi vocabulary. You know what I mean? So I don't know what my term would be. You know, I don't know what my term would be, because I also don't like the super formal, like, initiate. You know, like, I don't know. I mean, you could always go with the traditional, you know, beginner, advanced, expert, scary bitch. You know, like, you could go with those terms or whatever. Those are probably more where I like. but let's reel it back in, Bodhi. Start with moon magic, because moon magic is going to help your clairs. Moon magic is going to help with meditation, because it gives you something to focus on as you're starting your meditation journey, right? The other thing, and I'm going to plug his book again, because it is by far one of my favorite books about the clairs and psychic abilities and so on, and that is, of course, The Psychic Witch by Matt Aaron. If you guys don't own that book, why not? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I recommend getting it in paperback and getting it on audiobook, because there is a meditation in there that will help you learn to integrate all of your clairs together at the same time. It's fucking phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I can't rave about it enough. Start to do the moon work, working with the phases of the moon, and that in turn is going to help you with this, learning the truth about your intuition and why suddenly all your clairs are popping out. I hope that made sense, Lauren. I know I went off on a tangent tonight. You're welcome. You're welcome. I've had a good day with my kid, and so yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Will one of my mods please put that in the chats for both TikTok and YouTube? So yeah. All right. Binksy is next. Am I right, Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer S. Binksy. Okay, so I want to pause really quick, because Jessie M on YouTube said, I feel like this is hitting home. I'm new to all the spiritual realm. I just hit the wall of learning all the things. You are going to have times like that. All of you. I want all of you to listen to me. I'm going to listen to me too, okay? One of the things that I have noticed in the spiritual community, and I have been in the spiritual community for a long time. Like, I really full on both feet dove in 2012, okay? I've been in it kind of like back and forth before then, but I really dove in it in 2012. One of the things that I have noticed in all of this time, and I see it even more now that I'm in TikTok, now that I have a large TikTok following. By the way, thank you guys for 636,000 followers. I adore all of you. Thank you so fucking much. You're going to go through phases. You're going to go through phases. You're going to go through phases where you feel like the most magical bitch that ever magically bitched. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're going to feel like your personal power is through the roof. Like, you can control the wind. Like, you feel like the most amazing, crazy, spiritual thing that ever existed. And then other times you're like, oh my God, I'm a muggle. All my powers are gone. Like, and sometimes there's an in-between. Sometimes there's an in-between. Sometimes that's on a daily basis. You might hit those two things both in the same day. But you're going to go through phases where you feel exactly like that. I hit the wall. You're going to go through phases where you feel like you have devoured all of the stuff at your level and you don't know what the next step is going forward, you're going to hit phases where you kind of get burnt out. You can always learn about protections. You can always learn about candles. You can always learn about sigils and symbols. You can always learn about it, right? But sometimes you're like, dude, I've had enough sigils. I've had enough of candles. I can't read another book on protections. Like, do you see what I'm saying? You're going to have those times. My recommendation is this. Because when you hit that wall and you have those times where you are just like, this is bullshit. What's going on? Why isn't my magic flowing? Step back. The very first thing, just step back. Step all the way back. If that means that you feel like other people are rushing ahead of you, cool. You know where not to step moving forward. Step all the way back. Okay? Give yourself a couple of days. Make yourself take a break from magic for a couple of days. Now, I'm not saying don't meditate. I'm not saying don't ground. I'm not saying don't do, cleansings and stuff like that. I'm not saying don't light your incense or whatever. But take a couple of day break from doing any type of work, any type of casting, any type of candles, any type of anything, right? Make yourself. Because that first day, it's going to be like the pressure's off. And the second day, you're like, I really want to light a candle. Make yourself take a break. I have a lunchtime learning coming out in the next couple of days. I can't remember if it's Sunday or Monday, about some of the main reasons why spells fail. And knowing when not to cast is a big thing that people forget. Make yourself take a break. On that third day, start with your foundations again. Start with your foundations again. There are 1,000,002 ways to ground. There are 1,000,003 ways to meditate. There are 1,000,005 ways to do a candle layout. There are always new things that you can learn and you can implement with your moon magic. Like when it comes to your foundations, you can always learn a little bit more advanced things, but go back to the foundations when you feel like you've hit a wall. It will never ever steer you wrong. I promise. It will never steer you wrong. And sometimes going back to those foundations with your magic, you will find a new lease on that intense magic that you held in there. I promise. I promise. I wouldn't shit you. You're my favorite turd. You're welcome. We had to break up. The seriousness. But that is the advice that I wish I had, that someone had given me when I first started. When I first dove in, I don't know if it was feet or head first. I think I fucking cannonballed in the bitch. But if someone had just said, hey, when you hit the wall, force yourself to take at least a 2-day break, 2 or 3 day break, and then go right back to the foundations. I promise that you won't be sorry. I promise that you won't be sorry. All right. Jennifer. There's the Binksy. Love. Boom. 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 Okay, you had cards come out like that. Maybe the cards were like, you talked too long, bitch. All right, here we go. Well, Maginette, right off the bat, Union. The only card that would have been better was Finding Love. Then you have Safe Travel. And then you have Change. Just straight up honest, your person is not where you are. Your person is not where you are. And I have a feeling when I said that, you already know this. This is just confirmation. You already know this. The Safe Travel kind of solidified it there. The Change would have told me, but the Safe Travel solidified it. Ooh, scared the daylights out of me. Hi, sweet baby. Hi. Your person isn't where you are. I don't think that this is like, oh, you need to move. I don't think that this is, oh, you need to start looking here or here or here. I don't think that's the case. I think that you just going about your normal, everyday Binksy life is going to end up, it's going to end up putting you in some interesting places that's going to catapult you to be where those people are. And here's the other thing that I'm going to say about this, because like as I'm kind of wordsing through this, notice the circle on the top of there. Okay, notice the circle on the top of the union card, and then notice the circles here, and then notice all the circles here. So it was like circle, circle, and then a ton of circles. Whenever you get into this shift, is what we're going to call it. Whenever you shift and you realize that you have hit a different spot, I think very quickly you're going to find that there are more than enough love interests there. It may not be on your radar to move jobs. It may not be on your radar to move. It may not be on your radar to travel. It may not be on your radar for anything. But I would not be surprised if in like early 2026, sometime mid-January, there's an opportunity that comes up that allows you to either take a job that's a little bit further away than normal, maybe completely move at a different, I don't know, a different big massive place or whatever. Whatever this is, whatever this shift is, it is to completely like pick you up out of the dating pool that you're in and go and set you down over here. The fact that there are so many circles, the fact that we're talking about love, and the fact that we're talking about relationships tells me that there is more than one person that is going to be a good match for you in this new area, this new place over here. So take your time and like take your pick there, right? Don't just reach in the candy jar and grab the very first thing that comes out. I'm just saying. Does that make sense? That makes sense. I hope so. Okay, good. I was waiting for you to comment. In other words, I think that there's going to be either a job opportunity or a promotion, raise, something like that has to happen before you can be in the right place to find these other people. I don't think that it's something that should be off your radar. I just think that it's going to be... I just think that it's going to be a little bit before you find these people. Also, and I don't know why I feel like I need to tell you this because this is weird. I think that there are two people with extremely dark hair, like the super dark brown, almost black. One of them has extremely thick, like flowy, floofy hair, and glasses. So there's that. Great big smile, kind of little scruffy beard. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying what I'm saying. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And how are you doing, by the way? How long have you been following me, Binksy? I know I've been reading for you for at least, what, 3 years? Has it been longer than that? I know at least 3 years. What the fuck? Bella! Bella is next. And that's interesting that your card flung upside down, did some Cirque du Soleil shit, and then landed sideways. So we're going to put that right there. Cirque du Soleil card. And then the other two were like, we give. Maybe 3. Yeah, it's been a while, but I know I've been reading for you for a while. I may not remember every reading I give y'all, but especially those of you guys that are in my live streams all the time, yeah, I remember your names. So I feel like this is a good time to pause because there are a lot of people in the TikTok chat, there are people in the YouTube chat, etc. I feel like this is a good time to pause and just give you guys a quick reminder of some online etiquette that there is for my live streams. Don't be a creep or a jerk, because even creeps don't like creeps and jerks don't like jerks. Don't co-read. That is basically you telling me that I don't know jack about shit, and I guarantee I've been doing this longer than you have. Okay, well, not guarantee, but I can pretty much guarantee. It also tells everybody else that's watching that you know more than me. I don't take kindly to that. I don't come into your job and do that to you, so don't you fucking do it to me. The other thing is, I don't talk about politics in here. I do not give a flying flip which side of the aisle you're on. You be respectful, we'll be respectful, etc. And the last one is that we don't talk about other creators in here, especially in a negative light. And bada bing, bada boom. I'm sorry, Binksy. I just looked down and saw your comment. I'm going to read it out loud, and I hope that's okay. Binksy said, I'm honestly not doing the best right now, but I'll be okay. I think that a lot of people are struggling this Christmas. I think that a lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people have had a lot of loss, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like just bad shit happen this year. And like, let's not even talk about the last 5 years, but just a lot of shit this year has been really heavy, and it weighs on everybody. Don't think it doesn't weigh on me too. Don't think that I have days where I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to, like, don't think that I don't have days like that too. But there are a lot of people that are really, really struggling right now. So y'all, please don't ever think that you don't have anybody, and please don't ever think that someone wouldn't miss you if you weren't here. Okay, I would absolutely miss you if you weren't here. So would my moderators. Even if you never say a word in my chat, even if you never ever come into my chat, even if you sit outside my live stream and just watch, I would miss you. I would miss you. I have been an energy expert for well over a decade. I've been working in energy, Reiki, and everything else for a long time. And don't think that those of us that have been energy workers for a long period of time don't feel it when people get lost. Does that make sense? We feel it. Okay? I don't ever want you guys to think that you don't have anybody. Just come and sit and hang out. Listen to the stupid shit that comes out of my face. Hopefully learn a little something. And just come and sit and hang out. Okay? I don't ever want you guys to feel like you don't matter. Okay? Everybody had a hard Christmas. I think that everybody I have talked to had a hard time getting in the Christmas spirit. I forced myself to, not gonna lie. And then once I got there, I was good. I was good. Singing Christmas carols, blasting them in the car, like things like that. But, yeah, don't feel like you're by yourself and feeling down and feeling overwhelmed right now. Okay? With the new year coming up, everybody is starting to get a little hope, with like, well, maybe next year will be better and so on and so forth. And I am going to tell you guys this, and this is going to sound like something really, really stupid, and it's going to sound like something that you're probably going to roll your eyes at me or whatever, but I just want you just hear me. Just hear me out. Okay? Just hear me out. Your energy, your day, your moment by moment playbook will be exactly what you tell it to be. It will be exactly what you tell it to be. And I have to remind myself of this a lot. Because there are days that I get up and before my feet ever hit the ground, my brain is going through the 900 bazillion things that I know I need to do but will not get done because I don't have enough time to do them. If you choose to be overwhelmed when your feet hit the ground, then you will be. If you choose to be upset when your feet hit the ground, then you will be. If you choose to be sad when your feet hit the ground, then you will be. If you choose to be happy when your feet hit the ground, then you will be. And I know some of you guys are missing people. Like, I just lost my last grandma, then that was a very sobering thing. I'm trying to be the strong person for my dad. I lost my mom over 10 years ago. unfortunately, I understand how that feels. Like, I can't imagine having my mom until I was 75 years old. Like, that is like insane, you know? So being a strong person for my dad, who has been taking care of his mom for the last 20 years, is hard, you know? Everybody has days where they don't want to get out of bed, myself included. If you're struggling right now, I'm just going to give you a little bitty idea, okay? Hey, sweetie. Sweetie.
Do you know where Vicky would have put the laundry?
She said in that closet upstairs?
It's not there. She washed the jeans that I was on my day today.
Like the linen? Did you look in the linen closet?
I looked in all the closets. I looked in the washer and the dryer and the...
Here, let me text her and ask her.
Please. Oh, my baby. My baby bear bear.
Wow. Tried to put K and I put LA. I mean, they're... I thought she said she put them in the closet right next to your door.
They're not there. I can go look again, though. I'm going to take a bubble bath.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. For those of you guys that that are struggling and having a hard time right now, this is something that... I don't know why it won't let me mute people while I'm on the computer. Just saying. Thank you, Scarly. The fact that I'm trying to do my job and I'm trying to help people and I'm trying to make the world a better place, and you felt the need to come in and make weird, creepy ass comments and then get warned for it and then continue to make creepy ass comments and then say something else shitty. I hope you guys realize that, like, my moderators screenshot everything. They screenshot your comments and they screenshot your account. Troll or not, energy is energy, boo-boo. Energy is energy. You want to reach out to me with yours, I can reach out to you with mine. And so, you know, let me live rent-free in your head. Every time something goes wrong, let me live rent-free in your head. Every time something goes wrong, you think of me and you wonder how much energy I sent back to you. Every time something goes wrong in your life and you start to see frogs everywhere, I want you to sit and wonder if that was me. I'm just saying. That pissed me off. Hold on just a minute. Man, that made me mad. So, oh my God. Just saying. About to lose my shit. I'm about to lose my shit. Y'all are about to watch me have a full-on meltdown at my child right now. One of the things that I learned way later than I wish I had, I didn't learn this till my mom passed away. And that was that I set my alarm. Let's say I know that I need to get out of bed at 8:30. I also know I had a rough day the day before. Or I went to bed upset. I will set my alarm for like 8:15. So I can lay there for a minute and really just kind of calm down and get my brain right before I get out of bed. There are days I hit snooze 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It's a problem. But I try to make sure that before I put my feet on the floor, that I have my brain straight. Does that make sense? That I have my brain straight. And some days you just can't do that, and I get it. I get it. Some days there has been something that is so horrible that has happened that you just can't keep your brain straight. I 100% get it. You can only do what you can do in one day. And I'm going to say this next thing, and then I'm going to read for Bella because I've got her cards out. I'm going to say this next thing, and I want all of you to listen to me, and I'm going to listen to me too. It doesn't mean that I'm going to listen to it, and I know that you might not listen to it either. I tell you guys, well, I used to tell you guys this all the time, and mainly it was because I needed to hear it. I run 3 businesses. Like, I run 3 businesses. I talk to people all over the world all day. Like, I am always on the phone. I'm always in text. I'm always doing emails. I'm always here, there, and everywhere. I'm always doing 50 fucking things at the same time, right? And I feel like if I don't do those 50 fucking things every single moment of every single day, that something's going to fall through the cracks, or I'm going to lose something, and I lose shit all the time. Like, I know I put something here, but it's not here. It's way over there or whatever. Y'all all know what I'm saying. Because life is complicated as fuck now. Everybody says they just want a simple life. They want to go back to the simple times and so on and so on. But if you really think about it, the way that you live now and the way you're accustomed to living now, I don't know that any of us would do okay with completely unplugging from electronics, unplugging from social media, unplugging from email, unplugging from this. Like, we are so ingrained in this, it would be really hard to just instantly do that. We've also gotten so ingrained that we take on more than we can ever physically handle. And delegation is almost impossible for most of us because we feel like if we can't do it, then it's not going to get done right because people suck, right? But sometimes, some days, for your own mental health, you have to say, I need a break. I need a break. That's what I did on Christmas Eve. And that's what I did on Christmas. And yeah, I was still live, but did we do readings? No. We sat and we bullshitted and we talked and we all had a good time and we just hung out, right? We made chocolate covered fruits and goodies. Last night we watched the He-Man Christmas special, all that stuff. Sometimes you have to say, hey, look, I need a fucking break. I'm going to turn my phone off. Because here's the thing. Work will still be there. Your dishes and laundry will still be there. The kids will be fine. You see what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously, do the bare minimum of things you have to do. You know, make sure the kids are fed. Make sure the dogs have food and water. You know, like things like that. But if it's one of those things where you literally just have to step back, then that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. Okay? Don't stress about that. I know you're going to, but don't stress about it. Take a break. Take a step back. I promise that the world will wait. Part of the reason I put out the video the other day about part of the reason I put out the video the other day was because I had gotten so frustrated with people expecting... I'm turning my fucking phone off. I can't stand being interrupted. I'd gotten so frustrated with people expecting me and my girls to answer messages 24 hours a day. And a lot of us have insomnia, and so we get up and down during the middle of the night. Christine answers messages, Scarlett answers messages, I do, Sass does, Vicky does now, etc. That's a lot of people, right? I was watching people message the site, and this has been a thing, and it happens, it's on cycles, right? And I watch people message at all hours, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and demand that someone answer them back right then. Bitch, we're asleep. We're asleep. So I told the girls, I was like, don't answer messages. It's Christmas. Take the day off. Don't. And that's going to start being a hardcore line that I'm going to draw. And it's a line that y'all need to draw too. People need to respect your boundaries, and you need to respect other people's boundaries. I'm just saying. You see what I mean? So, anyway, I'm off of my, I'm off of my soapbox. All right. Bella has been waiting forever, and I've had her cards in front of me. All right, let's talk about the Cirque du Soleil card first. Bella wants to know about career. This is the Blessed Day card, and it's weird that it came out and it fell sideways down there. It did the crazy. And then you have concealment, and then you have castaway negativity. Well, I think you and I both know that that means the place that you're working at right now is shitty. Woo. You feel like you can't get ahead. You feel like you can't trust anybody, and it is a very toxic work environment. Okay, all right. Why do I feel like you've kind of checked out a little bit? Well, I feel like you've kind of like distanced yourself from other people. You've distanced yourself from being involved in a lot of things in that kind of office environment. You've distanced yourself. Yes. Okay, good. I think that that's the right thing to do. I think that 100% that's the right thing to do. It has two consequences. One really good, and that you're not involved in the stupid drama, and you're not involved in a lot of the toxicity that's there. But the bad side is that you're not involved with a lot of the goings on. So sometimes you're out of the loop because you don't know what's going on. The fact that you felt the need to disengage and pull everything back and not be out in the middle of everything, that's a red flag. I know it's so weird, okay? Because I see people all the time, they're like, well, I can't find a job right now. I can't find a job. And then at the same time, like, me as a business owner, I can't find people that are qualified to work for me. You know, like, it's fucking weird. And I hear other business owners that are like, I can't find qualified people, right? So I'm just going to say, girl, start looking for another job. Start looking for another job, because the Blessed Day card being sideways, you're always going to be in this like neutral thing. You're always going to be in this neutral phase. You're always just going to feel like you're kind of on the outside, disassociative, and I would start looking for another job. I don't feel like this is something that needs to happen tomorrow. I don't feel like this is something that needs to happen immediately. I think that if you just kind of start putting the feels out there, that the right job will easily find you. I would say give it about 2 to 3 weeks. But the right job will find you. I don't see anything with the job that you're at now, like a huge big thing. The castaway negativity is the biggest thing here. I definitely would not tell a single soul that you're looking for another job. Not even anybody in your house. I mean, maybe your spouse, you know, because like they kind of need to know. But I wouldn't let anybody else know. I wouldn't let anybody else know that you're looking for another job. I would just get that resume up. I'd get it on Indeed. I'd get it on all the things, and I'd start putting the feelers out everywhere on the low. But I don't feel like this is an environment that you need to stay in longer term. I think that if you do, it's going to break you down and make you really bitter and make you really resentful of every single thing at that job. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. And I hate that. Like, I don't understand. Miss Abigail. Oh, Abigail got a juicy one. I have never understood. Before 9/11, I worked for a big publishing company. And even though it was a Christian publishing company, no, that's not right. It goes right there. Even though it was a Christian publishing company, and we had morning prayer times, and I didn't mean to roll my eyes, but we had morning prayer times that we were required to go to and stuff like that. The company environment was fantastic. Did we have Karens in the office? Yes, but there literally were 3 in like 10 different floors of people, right? Like, so pretty much everybody was great. And they did a lot to make sure that everybody was included, and they brought people in to teach classes so, you know, the support staff could get certifications and sales staff could get certifications, like all this stuff, right? It was a great, really great working environment. And we just don't see that anymore. Like, you do in some places, but not everywhere. And it's one of the things that I don't understand where that went. I do. And being a business owner and having employees, I totally do. Because it doesn't take but just a few really shitty employees to tank wanting to do that for employees. But I really hate that. I hate that there's not, that the work environments out there are just turning to shit. I really and truly do. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. So, all right. Are y'all ready for Abigail's? Because it's juicy. Are you ready? I'm going to read this because this is awesome. Okay? I know some of you guys are looking for the Bodhi and the Zeus little emojis and pictures. I need to re-upload. Whenever TikTok did I don't know what the fuck TikTok is doing all the time. When they moved it from subscriptions to super fans, but they're still subscriptions, but I don't know what the fuck. All of those disappeared, so I've got to re-upload them. So I will get new ones uploaded because I have some really good ones. All right. Abigail wants to be a little vengeful, but I love this. She says she wants to be vengeful and petty. I know I shouldn't, and there are other things I should master before doing that kind of work. And I'm part of the problem, but also I warned them beforehand. I think that is funny. I'm sorry, but that is funny. Well, I mean, I warned you. I warned you, and you still did that shit anyway. I think that everybody listening identified with that. I'm not kidding, Abigail. I think every single person listening just identified with that. All right, so we're going to turn the cards over, and I'm going to give you the cards advice, and then I'm going to give you Bodhi advice. Destiny, because of course, why wouldn't the Destiny card come out first? Protection. I feel like the cards are a little spicy. I'm dying to see what this is. I feel like the cards are just as spicy as my whole attitude is. Let go. Or is it let's go? No, it's let go. The cards kind of mirror what I was going to say. The cards kind of mirror what I was going to say. A little. Destiny, protection, and let go. First of all, I think that this situation would have escalated the way it's escalated no matter what. No matter what, it would have escalated. The other thing is that whatever it is that's about to happen between you and these people also was kind of destined to happen. The cards say basically put your protections up and then let it go. You know what I mean? And then just let it out into the universe. Maybe do a little return to sender and let it out into the universe. And just be like, you know what? I'm washing my hands of it. The Bodhi advice. The Bodhi advice is going to be this. Make a little jar for protection for you. And just make it look gnarly. And just make sure that one of these people sees said gnarly jar. Even though it's for protection for you. Just kind of let them see said gnarly jar. And then just live rent free in their head. Let go of it. And watch the hilarity ensue. I think that psychological witchcraft is probably one of my absolute favorites. It is one of my absolute fucking favorites. There are so many people that will think that you did shit to them simply because of the way you respond, or simply because you made a jar that looks nasty as fuck. But maybe it's a self-love jar for you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then you live rent free. And here's the greatest part, right? Put your protections up and make sure that your protections are continuing to, you know, be strong, because that person will get upset and think that you did something. And so then they'll start sending stuff at you. But the thing is, like, you didn't deserve it. You didn't do anything to get that stuff. So it'll bounce off your protections and end up boomeranging. And then they'll think you did something in return. So they'll continue to do it. And it's like really actually the funniest fucking thing. There are going to be people out there in the spiritual community that believe, and you know what? Let them. Okay? Let them. There are going to be people out there that believe that they can get through any warding, any grounding, any protection, anything like that when they've been practicing for like 3 months. They're going to believe that they're so powerful because they've been practicing a year that they can get through any amount of protections. They're going to believe that they're so powerful that they can do whatever it is that they want to do because they've been practicing for 8 months or whatever. Just let them. Like, you're not going to be able to tell them any different, and that's fine. And you know what? If that's how they feel that they need to be, then cool. There are going to be people that think that they're always going to be able to tell when someone's attacking them, you know, and things like that. Let me tell you guys something. There are always going to be people that are stronger than you. There are always going to be people that are better at warding and protections than you. There are always going to be people that are better at hexing than you. There are always going to be people that are better at money workings or love workings or business workings or abundance or whatever than you. There's always going to be somebody that's a little bit better than you, and you're always going to be better than somebody else at something. It's just the chain of all of the magic. You have an insane talent for several things, right? Everybody has like one big main talent. Usually there's a top 3, right? There's a triangle. There's a top 3 things that you're fantastic at. And then it's kind of like a hierarchy from there, right? Down to the things that you kind of suck at, but you still can do them. I guess I need to breathe. But there's always going to be somebody that's a little bit better than you because they've been practicing a little longer. Or maybe they have more of an innate talent, and so the things that they pick up resonate. Psychological warfare happens to be one of my favorite things. So when people think that they can get through all of your stuff, Abigail, when you didn't do anything but make a protection jar, all it will do is literally like bounce right back at them. Because whether people believe in karma or not, the universe does, and the universe believes in balance. So if you swing a metronome and it goes up here, it has to come back this way. It doesn't care who's on what side or what's in the middle. It has to have balance. So if somebody is casting out a whole bunch of light, then darkness has to be the other part of it. If somebody is casting out a whole bunch of darkness, then light has to be the other part of it. So if somebody is throwing a whole bunch of bullshit at somebody that didn't do anything and didn't deserve it, is it going to touch that person a little bit? Yes. I mean, yes, it will. You know, it might just be that, you know, you stub your little pinky toe, you know, when they tried to, you know, I don't know, mutilate you or whatever. It is going to blow back on them in such a hardcore way. And sometimes somebody just thinking you did something to them is the best thing possible. It's the best thing possible. So, this needed to happen. It was going to happen. It had to happen. And you need to make sure that your protections are top notch, completely up on the ups. Do a nasty little protection jar that looks gnarly as fuck and make sure that somebody sees it. And then just let it go out into the universe. And then you get to scratch all of the itches. You get to be petty and you get to be a little vengeful. And then at the same time, you didn't do anything. Do you see what I mean? That's exactly what I would do, Abby. That's exactly what I would do. Just saying. Just saying. You are so welcome. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. This is driving me up the wall. Melissa R is next. Don't worry about the spelling, girl. Don't worry. May they always have the rogue Lego find their feet. That is a very shitty thing to wish on somebody. But, I mean, it's also a great one. It's also a great one. Think about it. It's also a great one. All right, you got to have 4 because 2 came out. So, finances. So, you had 1 and then 2 came out together. All right. Well, I mean, when you're looking at finances and good fortune comes out first, like, I mean, that's yes. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why I'm yawning. I mean, I do. I do because I'm doing this and not breathing. And then you have knowledge. And I find it really interesting. Good fortune is really, really detailed. And I know it's kind of hard to see the cards. It's really detailed. But the overall shapes are pretty similar. I know that they don't look like it to y'all. But to me, I'm like, okay, that is almost like a mirror. I don't know. And then over here, underneath, you have resilience. And then on the top, you have leadership. So, okay. I find it funny that you have like bugs and flowers. Bugs and flowers go together. Like without flowers, you don't have bugs. And without bugs, you don't have flowers. You know what I mean? And the other side over here, you have the fox and you have the tiger. So 2 different animals. A very small one that gets away from big things easily. And then a big one that overtakes small things easily. Let me say this. What this tells me is that there's been like a kick in the butt. Something pretty rough has happened. You've pulled out of it. It's like it already happened and you've pulled out of it and you feel like things are kind of going on the up and up, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's your gut or if this is currently happening, but you feel like this thing is about to happen again. I don't think that it's a cycle per se, but for some reason your gut is telling you that there's about to be this other, like, you know, deep dive, this crash. So, first of all, I want to remind you that you've always had the resilience to pull your ass out of the mud every single time. You've always had the resilience to pull your butt right back up out of the hole. And the way that you have always done that is to be your own leader. We're going to talk about these other two cards, the first two cards first, but I feel like a lot of people need to hear this, especially with some of the people, some of the things that we've talked about tonight. And this is where I say your ripples matter, because if I wasn't reading for Melissa and she didn't need to hear this, then other people wouldn't need to hear it either. Does that make sense? Y'all, you have to be your own leader. You have to be your own protector. You have to be your own knight in shining armor. You have to be your own damsel in distress. You have to be all of the characters in the story. Because if you don't know how it feels to be the damsel in distress, then how do you know what kind of knight in shining armor you need? And if you don't know how to be the knight in shining armor, then how do you know how to rescue the damsel in distress? Like, do you see what I mean? And if you don't know how it is to be the dragon, to like be breathing the fire and burning everything down, then how do you know how to fight the dragon as the knight in shining armor? How do you know how to woo the dragon to bring you food as the damsel in distress? Like, do you see what I mean? You have to understand how all of these different characters feel. But every single one of you has pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and pulled yourself out of the mud at some point or another. Every one of you have. It doesn't mean that it's fun, and it doesn't mean that you should throw yourself in the mud just so you can do it. But every single one of you has done this. Period. Every single one of you has done this. The good fortune and the knowledge. My friend, I don't think you give yourself enough credit with how much you know about you, about your chosen business, about your people, about all of that. I don't think that you give yourself enough credit. There's a difference between being conceited about your skills and abilities and stuff and your business and knowing what you know. And the difference is this, knowing what you don't know. The people that know their shit and know what they know, it's because they know what they don't know and they're constantly learning new things. And I feel like that's where you're at. But I feel like also people seem to think that you're conceited about it because you do know the shit. You've put the time in. You've learned the things. You've got the certificates. You know what I mean? Like, you've done the things. You've learned the things. But you're kind of squishy inside, and so people get to you sometimes when they're like, oh, well, you just act like whatever, insert whatever insult here. And you let it get to you a little bit because it hurts your feelings because you've put in the work. This is why you've always managed to pull yourself out of the mud. Since you specifically asked about finances, my advice is going to be this. If your gut is telling you that there's fixing to be another this, start preparing now. If your gut is telling you that, you know, you need to be putting money back or that you need to be stocking up on this or whatever, start doing that. Start doing that. I don't see anything bad happening. Good fortune, knowledge, resilience, and leadership. As long as you are your own leader and you are the one taking charge of your own finances, whether it's with a budget, whether it's with, you know, looking for, you know, more clients or another job or whatever, you know your shit and you know what you know. And that is always going to make sure to keep you in the good graces of the universe. Make sure, this is for all of you. When you guys tell the universe that you don't know what's going to happen, when you tell the universe that you don't have enough money for this, when you tell the universe that, well, I just wish that this, or I wish that that, or I, you know, maybe I hope, or whatever, then the universe thinks that you don't really want that thing. But when you lay it out like, this is what's happening, I choose this, I choose that I have a budget, I choose that I have money in savings, I choose I choose this, it's going to help you tremendously to shift your mindset and to move your magic up a little bit, if that makes sense. It's also going to mentally and emotionally and elevate you a little bit, mature you a little bit. So good. I'm glad that that's what you needed to hear. I was like, there's a lot of different things to go with this reading, and I'm glad that I spit out what it was you needed to hear. It's kind of funny that this is coming up. I filmed a whole bunch of lunchtime learnings today about different ways of speaking to the universe, and they start coming out tomorrow. So pay attention to some of those. They're highly, highly potent foundational aspects of magic that people forget about. But give yourself credit. Give yourself credit, okay? Oh, well, I'm glad you were here. I had you on the list for tomorrow, but I'm glad you're here, Melissa. So I have Jessica and Sarah. And then, is my list sold out for tonight already? You're always here. Oh, good. I appreciate that. So it looks like there is a couple more for tonight. If you guys want to get on the list for tonight. Yeah, there's a couple more for tonight if you guys want to get on the list. So let's see. Jessica. Everybody needs to know about finances and career tonight, yeah? Y'all? If you guys would like to get on the list, there is, if you click on my profile, there is a little thing that will take you to my link tree, and that has it on there for you. I have to be careful what I say. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, we can't say L-I-N-K now when talking about anything. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand. All right, Jessica. Finances and career. All right. So, as I was drawing these, the last one fell right side up in its intuition, so let's talk about that first. Let's talk about that first. What's up, KP? Yeah, Sam, it's been a new thing. It's been a new change that if you put .com, that automatically flags you. So, like, my moderators can't put my web address in the chat. They can't put the word link in the chat. Like, it's fucking weird. I don't understand. Like, they'll flag it as I'm pulling people off of TikTok because they got to get their money. You know what I mean? Yeah, see? You can't say any of those things. It's fucking stupid. It wouldn't even let you pin the book. You know what? I only have a couple more reads tonight, and then I think that I'm going to work on my Amazon list and get that up for you guys so you know what books. I have a few on my TikTok shop. I know they'll let me say that. I have a few on my TikTok shop list, but I will put a ton on my Amazon links and stuff like that. So I did promise to Shauna that I would get some playlists up and stuff like that, but it's stupid. All right. Intuition fell out first. And you're talking about finances and career. The fact that there's two cards before that and both of them are face down, but that one is last and it came out face up. It fell out like that. You already know. Before I ever turn the cards over, before I ever read what this says, you already know the answer. You already know what to do. So I have a feeling that this is just going to be confirmation. And thank you for letting me be confirmation, I guess. So you have growth of energy. And then you have courage. You already know that you have to step out of your comfort zone. You already know that where you are is too constrictive. You already know that where you are in life, in your job, in your financial aspects, all of that is too constrictive. And I don't mean it like you need a job that's making $1 million an hour. Dude, wouldn't we all love that? And then things would be, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna put my hair up like differently. But do I look okay?
You look super cute. We all know that when things get too constrictive, we're just not happy, right? We're just not happy. And the other thing I'm going to say is this, and every single one of you is going to understand this feeling. Your gut will always tell you when something's done. Your gut will always tell you when something has run its course. Every single one of you guys has had a relationship, a friendship, a job, a car, a house, or whatever. In your gut, you know. You know, right? You just know. Everything might be fine in the relationship, right? There's no big things. Y'all aren't fighting. Y'all, like, no big things, but something in your gut's like, it's just done. Like, I don't understand. And then the next week, like, poof, something happens, right? You feel okay, secure in your job. There's nothing wrong with your job. It's not the greatest job. It's not your dream job, but, you know, the money's decent and so on. But your gut's like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. You've had some intuition about it working out with a 911 dispatch job, but I don't know. That's a really tough job. My sister did it for a while. I have a couple friends that have done it for a while. That is a very, very intense, emotional job. It takes a really special person. So for you to want to do that, man, good on you, because I think that the world needs more people that are willing to step up and do those jobs, and they don't get enough credit for what they do. We only hear about the bad shit. You know what I mean? When somebody finally snaps and says some bullshit or whatever, or they don't take somebody seriously. We only hear about the bad shit. We don't ever hear about the good stuff. We don't ever hear, y'all don't ever hear about the, you know, the support groups for the 911 dispatchers, because, you know, they got a call several times that week where somebody passed away while they were on the phone, or, you know, a kid passed away or something like that. Like, it's a very, very intense, hard job. So, man, good on you for even attempting to do something like that. So, I would trust your gut. And I would trust your intuition. Y'all, your intuition will never steer you wrong. It won't. I promise it won't. It may steer you to something that blows up in your face, and you're like, well, my intuition was really wrong. Was it though? Was it though? Do you see what I mean? You need to have the courage to step out and step into something new, because your energy, yourself, you in general are growing as a person. Your energy is growing, and that's why you feel constricted in where you are. I mean, eventually the little chickie grows too big for the egg and has to come out and continue to grow, right? That's where you are. You're right at that stage of you need to exit the egg and continue growing, or you stay confined in the egg. But I think that you're growing at a rate that you can't stay confined in the egg. That you can't. I would have the courage and get out of that. And I think it's really groovy that you're waiting to hear about interviewing for it. I would look for other things too along that line. Even if it's not a 911 dispatch, I would look at, you know, police dispatch. I would look at, my mom actually worked in police dispatch in Tulsa on the night shift for like 15 years. 15 years. And some nights she was bored to death, and some nights it was so intense she would get home and just fall into bed. But there's all kinds of different people, dispatch areas like that where, I mean, they always need people, good people. So I would look at all of those things. I would look at all of those things. But 100% go for it. Hold on just a minute. Person. Do you need to say hi? Have fun. Make it twisted. Door will be unlocked. Wow, that escalated so quickly. She had a date. So yeah. I think it's fantastic that you've applied for that, dude. Apply for all of those things. It's a very, very rewarding job. It's a very rewarding job. So yeah. Is that what you needed to know? That was the right thing to do? Like, the intuition card coming out let me know. Like, you already knew. You already knew. Right? You already knew. You already knew. Just saying. Sorry, I had to pause for a minute there. I thought that I heard somebody knock at the door, and then I was like, well, she didn't come running. So, yeah. But apply for all of those things. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wouldn't stress about it. I really wouldn't. And here's why I'm going to say that. Just because my mom worked in the police department for a long time like that, in the admin part, I know that sometimes there's a lot of shit going on, and they mean to call people back, and then they don't, and then they're like, oh God, we really need people really bad. We're like 4 people down, and they're like, oh shit, we have interviews to schedule. So it's definitely like a hurry up and wait thing. You know what I mean? You got everything in. I would go ahead and put your application in for. Ooh, somebody's talking about me. My nose is itching really bad. Son of a bitch. Probably my kid. I would put your application in for a whole bunch of different dispatch positions. I really and truly would. I really and truly would. Not just 911, but the police department will always have several other internal dispatch positions as well. The jail will have them, like things like that. So, do it. Do it. I have faith in you. I'm just saying. Yeah, like all of a sudden, it's like crazy. Like crazy. All right. Sarah, Moe, Tonya, and Sally. And it looks like tomorrow first on the list is Terry. All right. I was always told, that was what my grandparents always said, that if your nose itched, it meant somebody was thinking about you. I don't know. Or talking about you. So that's what that's what I grew up with. So I don't know. I know other people, if your ears were burning, somebody's talking about you. Like, I'd heard that one too. But yeah, I don't know. My grandparents always said, if your nose is itching, then somebody's talking about you. So yeah. Oh, see, a lot of you guys said the same thing. Okay. All right, Sarah. Ready? Let the universe direct. Woo! Why you gotta come out with some heavy hitting shit? Like, let the universe direct. And this is banish a curse, dude. Banish a curse, dude. And then happiness. Okay. And then confidence. All right. Okay. I was teasing you about it being a heavy, hard-hitting thing. It is and it's not. So let's chat. Anytime you step into the adult world, anytime that you step into the magical world, anytime you step into just life in general, we get told you have to work on this, you have to work on that, you have to do this, right? That cat is weird. When you work on a project at work, and you put that finishing touch on it, and you send it in the email to your boss, you know that it's done, right? You can mark it off your list. It's done. You put the last period down, all of it's been checked, and it's gone. It's done, right? But with magic, it's a little different. You actively have to say, okay, good, thank you, I'm done. The banish a curse aspect. I don't know if you've been doing return to senders or if you need to do a return to sender. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have not done one within the last 3 months, I would just do a blanket return to sender. It doesn't even have to be a big thing, just a black candle. In fact, my advice would be just to go to Dollar Tree and get a 7-day black candle, like the pillar candles that are like $1.50 or whatever. Hell, I think at this point Walmart has them for a couple bucks. I would just go and get one of those. Oh, okay. You're constantly being told to change. No. I'm going to tell you the opposite. Banish a curse, happiness, and confidence. Just do a return to sender, right? That's it. Just a return to sender. I would let that candle burn a little bit every day. Start it in the next couple of days if you can, so that way it's done right around the first of the year. Just a return to sender. That's it. Nothing bad. Just like anything negative that's been sent to me, it just go away, right? Just go away. Here's what I will tell you to do, and this is something that all of you need to, if this has been a long time since I mentioned this, and all of you need to pay attention, okay? If you are doing a candle for yourself, your family, etc., your name goes on the bottom of that candle. If you're doing a return to sender, then, and you want the things returned from, that's been put on you and your family, you need to put, you know, like, if your name is Joel and Sue Bob, you need to put Joel and Sue Bob, or maybe your initials, because that's a lot for the bottom of a candle, and family, and home. Do you see what I mean? Go on the bottom of that candle, because that is your magic. You want that magic to stay with you. So put your name on the bottom of it. Even if it's just on the bottom of the glass pillar, put your name on it. But just do a return to sender. Just a very nice, clear, calm. Any negative is sent right back to where it started, right? The next thing I'm going to say, when that candle is done, I would just speak something nice into it. I would rinse it with water, and then I would throw it away. I would throw it away. The reason I say rinse it with water, A, for some reason something in here told me to tell you that, but B, hello crazy town, but B, rinsing all of that soot and that negativity out of there and letting it go down the drain is very symbolic. You just did that candle. You just did that return to sender. You're sending all that stuff back. So rinsing that out, cleansing it before you put it in the trash or whatever. I actually have started, because I burn a ton of candles. I burned a ton of candles in the shop. I have probably 8 or 9 going at all times in there of different types. When they burn out, I save those glass things, and I either use them as planters, or I'm fixing to start doing something special with them for you guys. But I will fill them with water and put a strand of ivy in there. And they make great little starters for plants. I'm just saying. That's what I would do. The next 2 things, the happiness and the confidence. This is something that you kind of have to fake it till you make it, especially if you have people constantly telling you to change. Y'all, let me say this. I know that people that are on the spectrum get a bad rap, and I don't know why. I would rather hang around with people that are on the spectrum all day long than normal people. I would rather hang around with neurospicy people all day long than normal people, because neurospicy people are the ones that have the most brilliant ideas. They come up with the best shit. They have the best musical playlists. Are their thoughts scattered? Does their house look like a mess and all that? Yes, but they are the best people to hang out with. They will overthink all the things for your birthday, and even if they only have $5, they're going to do some crazy ass weird shit with that $5 that makes you never forget that birthday. I will hang out with people on the spectrum all fucking day long. And people that tell people that have ADHD, that are on the spectrum, that have any kind of neurospicicity to them. People that tell you you have to change and conform and fit in, that is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It is. I would almost guarantee you that the vast majority of the people that have made the biggest changes in the world, the ones that haven't been able to sit down, like Alexander the Great, people that conquered large areas, do you think that they were just normal people? Do you think they were just normal people? The man couldn't sit down. The man was always traveling, always on the move, always conquering something. Like he never sat down. I mean, that doesn't sound like a normal person to me. That sounds like neurospicy as fuck. I'm just saying. They look at different things with temporal lobe epilepsy because I am going somewhere with this because just listen to my spicy brain. They look at different things with temporal lobe epilepsy, and they look at different people throughout history that have had these major religious epiphanies, these major religious moments where they've spoken to God or they've channeled God or angels or things like that. And they believe that the vast majority of those things are a temporal lobe epileptic seizure, because there is a temporal lobe seizure that is a euphoric seizure, and it can make you have an intense religious experience. And those things are found in every single culture, not just European or whatever. I will hang out with those people all day long. I will hang out with those people all day long. Those were the people that were highly sought after because they were great warriors. They were highly sought after because they were oracles. They could tell the future. They could plan all this strategy. They could, do all this insane mathematics. And those were the people that were employed as, the wise men, as the sorcerers, as the magicians, as the strategists, as whatever. So just, Sarah, be confident in who you are. Be confident in who you are. This is for any of you guys that are neurospicy. People are always going to be afraid of what they don't understand. And if they don't understand that your brain works at a phenomenal speed on 9 things at the same time with probably 4 or 5 or 12 more going in the undercurrent, then that's a them problem. It's not a you problem. Learn how to utilize your brain. Learn how to ensure that your brain is working the way that you need it to work for you. If you need to set a timer for 30 minutes and force yourself to do laundry for 30 minutes and then force yourself to work for 30 minutes and then force yourself to go, walk the dog for 30 minutes or whatever, and that's how your brain works, then that's exactly what you should do. That's exactly what you should do. I'm just saying. The people that are telling you that you need to change are the reason why you can't seem to find a happy moment, and they're the reason why your self-confidence is in the shitter. So fake it till you make it's a thing, man. Fake it till you make it is a huge thing. In my opinion, and because I spouted off all the things I spouted off a while ago about, those fantastical warriors and, all of the people that make the big, huge changes and the oracles and the seers and all of that stuff that were neurospicy, those are the people that are the next evolution of humans. And those are the people that have always been feared. You should be happy to be one of them. I'm just saying. So do a return to sender, Sarah. Just a nice, calm one. Do something nice with the glass afterwards. And yeah. Just saying. Does that make sense? I love this. So many of you guys in the comments are neurospicy. I love it. I love it. It makes me super happy. I get people wanting you to do good. I 100% understand that. I don't understand people wanting you to fit in. I don't understand that. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Moe is next. Really? Moe is next. And this is all about love. Moe, are you here? Because I need to know, are you attached or are you single? Because that's going to make a difference in how things are read. I saw that Moe was here, so. Are you single or are you attached? Thank you guys for all the gifts and the roses and the goodies and the follows. I appreciate all of you. You're a widow. Okay, got it. So before I turn these over, your question is that going to be a thing again? Yeah? Equilibrium. Luna. And overcome fear. All right, you ready? My first question is going to be this, and it's not one that I need an answer to. It's one that you just need to think about. Have you gained your equilibrium back? Have you gained yourself back? Losing a spouse, I mean, I 100% understand the overcome fear over here. Losing a spouse is a fear that you're not going to get over. Anytime you lose somebody, especially somebody that you're married to, you share your life with them, and then they just are no longer there. When you really start to understand the permanence of death, like as a kid, we don't really understand it, right? As an adult, like we feel it on a deep level. So there's always going to be that fear there. And if that fear is what's keeping you from dating, if that fear is what's keeping you from getting out back into anything, you're going to have to be easy with yourself, and you're going to have to, I literally would give that fear a name. I would make it a little jar. I would, and when I say jar, I mean like an empty jar. Just give it a space to be. Does that make sense? Trying to hide that fear and trying to erase that fear is only going to make that fear grow. Does that make sense? If you're trying to push that fear down and you're trying to always make that fear go away, it's going to get bigger. It's like not feeding gremlins after midnight, like don't pour water on them and don't feed them after midnight. The same thing goes with fear. Like you just need to love it, hug it, feed it in the daylight, and keep it dry, So be easy with you on that fear aspect. It's going to be there, honey. It's going to be there. But the equilibrium, have you got your equilibrium back where you feel like you're ready to? This is for everybody. This is for everybody. You don't have to rush dating. If you're not ready, you're not ready. If you are ready, you are ready. The Luna card in the middle, I think, is very interesting because you have equilibrium, Luna, and overcome fear. My gut tells me that this is one of those things that the universe is shifting some things around for the right person to be brought into your path. You're on the path. Because I saw that you say that you feel like you've got your equilibrium back, like you're ready to get back out there. You're on the path. I feel like the universe is shifting some things around so this person can meet you on the path up here. I think that you should get yourself out there, and I think that you should go on some dates, and I think that you should enjoy every minute of it. I don't think that your person is just around the corner. I think it's probably going to be about 3 months before you meet somebody that is even going to remotely be something that you want to keep. It's going to be catch and release season for a little bit, Moe, until you finally get that prized rainbow trout coming on the right path with you there. But I'm just saying, go and enjoy. Go and enjoy. But I literally think it's probably going to be about 3 months before anybody even comes across your radar that's somebody you'd want to keep. So I would say go and have fun. The reason I say that is because that Luna card tells me that there's something kind of being hidden from you right now. I would not get serious with anybody until probably spring. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't even think about getting serious with anybody until spring. Because I have a feeling that probably end of March is going to be a good time for you. That gives you time to get your sea legs. Gives you time to it gives you time to get out there and maybe cut through some of the chaff. I'm just saying. Does that make sense? I feel like something's being hidden from you from the universe right now, that the person that needs to be in your life is on their way, but I have a feeling they move like a turtle, dude. I don't know why specifically I needed to say that, so you'll have to come back and let us know why I said they move like a turtle. I don't know. There is someone that you're interested in. Go for it. Go for it. We're all going to encourage you now, Moe. Do we need to sing the bow chicka bow bow? My advice is going to be go for it. But there is something that's being hidden from you right now. Whoever this is moves like a turtle, dude. They take their sweet time. I'm just saying. Yeah, catch and release, man. Catch and release. And then we all need updates, Moe. We all need updates. You are so welcome. Is that what you needed to know? I want to reiterate one more time that I feel like the universe is hiding something from you that's not, it hasn't been brought to your path yet. Kinda, yes. Okay. If it was a yes or no, if you should go for it with the person you're interested in, then that's 100% a yes. Go for it. Go for it. Absolutely, go for it. Oh, that was weird. My brain just totally played tricks on me. I was looking at the my sensor. I put a new sensor in, and at the bottom it tells you like how many days. And I could have sworn it said 25 days. I was like, that there's no way. It didn't. It said 15. But still, I was like, what the hell? All right, okay. Tonya. Don't know why I'm yawning. I actually got a decent... No, I didn't. I slept like shit last night. I was like, I actually got a decent amount of sleep. And then I was like, I didn't though. I didn't though. All right. There she is. There's the Tonya. So you have jobs and marriage. Are you currently married? Just out of curiosity. I had way too much caffeine yesterday. I couldn't sleep. And then I had weird, really, really crazy ass dreams. And it was just... So I've cut myself back on the caffeine today. You're currently married. Okay, gotcha. All right. Let's see here. Why do you start off with let go? Okay, let go. Cut ties. Are you serious? Let go and then cut ties. And then banish a curse. In other words, the universe has already been giving you every single sign you needed, and for some reason, you're not listening. And what are the odds that as I shuffle that deck, let go, cut ties, and banish a curse? Obviously, something ain't working. I don't know if this is jobs or the marriage. I don't know if this is jobs or the marriage. I also, Tonya, have a feeling you might be just a little bit stubborn. I have a feeling you might be just a lot bit stubborn. You and I are friends. I would be the one that would, I mean, I was. It took me forever to finally leave and get divorced. But I also find it interesting, and I want to show you guys this, okay? Because when you look down at the cards, you have let go, right? And it's a crab, it's roses, even though it's let go, and if y'all have ever been pinched by a crab, it fucking hurts. Even the little baby tiny ones, like, holy shit. But this is like the first stage, right? Like the let go, just kind of let it go out into the universe. Stop stressing about it. Start cutting the ties. And then you have the cut ties. And I want you to notice that, like, this is a big old broadsword. This is a broadsword with the circles. I mean, that is a big ass chop chop. Notice that it went from, why am I yawning again? Something kind of calm to that huge broadsword to this. The Banish a Curse card has 4 swords, 4 circles, several snakes, 4 snakes, excuse me. Actually, it has 5 circles if you count the one in the middle. It's like it escalates. Does that make sense? It just keeps escalating. This has to happen in stages. It can't be something that you just cut off. I don't know if this is your job or if this is the marriage. I know that you know what I'm talking about. This is going to be something that you have to do in stages, and you have to start kind of legitimately planning it out for both. Okay. You have to start planning it out. You're going to have to start making sure that you're cutting things in the ways that they need to be cut. And I would be very, very strategic about it. The first one has the roses and the dewdrops and, you know, the love and the self-love on it and so on. And that's where I would start, would be the self-love and you making sure that you are okay, that you're going to have everything you need to have and so on. And then I would start cutting those ties little by little. Girl, I would start making plans. The way that escalates like that, I mean, that's not a little escalation. Like, that's an in your face, this has to happen whether you like it or not. Are y'all all right, sir? That was the weirdest noise out of the tiniest dog. I don't even know what that was. Are you okay, Zeus? This is the Luna card. I wanted to draw a card just to see what would come up, and it's Luna. And, I mean, the circles, etc. Everything needs to go full circle, and everything needs to come back around. I don't think that you have a crazy long time to plan this either, Tonya, before the universe cuts it. That's my feeling. Seeing this, like, I was joking about this, but the fact that this escalates so fast, it's not, like, let go and then calm, mindfulness, and then cut ties. It is let go, cut ties, banish a curse. Like, this is like boom, boom, boom. I don't think that you are going to have, like, this 2-year-long wait to get this done. I think that this is going to be like boom, boom, boom. And I think that if you don't start making these plans, the universe is going to make them for you. And nobody likes it when the universe makes plans for you. I'm just saying. Does that make sense, Tonya? That also tells me that this is something that's been brewing for a while. And it's probably something that you have gotten every single sign that you needed to have. And you just needed that one last piece of confirmation. That's what I would say. And it's not like either one of those things is a small thing. Neither one of those things is a small thing. People seem to think that getting divorced is just an easy idea. Oh, well, I want to do that. Now I'm going to do this. And I mean, is it that way sometimes for some people? Maybe. But it's never a easy decision. Like, it's never an easy decision. It's just like leaving a job. Sometimes leaving a job is an easy decision, but usually you have built up resentment at that job for a while before you even think about starting to quit. So, yeah. It's not ever something fun and cool and chic, demure. It's not any of that. It's not any of that. Even if there's not anything like seriously wrong in the marriage and you just need to be, your gut just says I'm done, I mean, it's hard, man. And so I don't envy you, Tonya, at all, but also at the same time, like, been there, happy to offer any advice or help in any way that we can. So I'm just saying. So, Sally G is next. You are so welcome. By the way, I always love seeing your name in here, Ratty Tonya. I don't know why, that just cracks me up, dude. I don't know why, but it's so funny. So Sally said, "Oh, over the last 2 years, you were right about me winning my SSDI case. Now I want to know when I'm going to get it and if I can use it for my manifestations." So everything went the way it was supposed to go. I hate that I said that it was going to be put off a couple of times. If I don't have tomorrow's live stream up on my thing yet, I will. Sally is my last read for the evening, and then oh sweet. So I'm glad that you got everything. I am glad that I was right, but I hate that I was right at the same time, because I know that there were a couple of times I told you you had to wait. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that I was right, and I'm glad that it gave you some peace, because I know sometimes, even if you know in your gut that they're going to pass it when you go into court, like, knowing is a little different than like just feeling it in your gut. I don't know. So I'm glad I could give you the confirmation. After I get done with Sally's read, then I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to work on my schedule for the next week or so that way I can get that planned out. So the live stream for tomorrow will be up. I want to say it'll probably be about 6:30 or 7 o'clock. About 6:30 or 7 o'clock tomorrow for the rest of these reads. But I am currently like live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. And tomorrow night it will be the same thing. I'll be live on YouTube and TikTok, so you guys can always go back and watch it at any time. I have been trying to upload the candles, the cord cuttings and stuff from the other night, and that one video was like 4.5 hours long, and it's taking YouTube for fucking ever. So yeah, you got the amount of back pay, not adding kids, should equal out to the, that's awesome, should equal out to the total amount you were manifesting. I love that. You didn't see me on. All right. When you're going to get it, and if you can use it for manifestations. I mean, obviously, yes. So you had one card come out, and then you had two come out together. So the first card is Union. Okay. And then on the bottom, you have Grounding. And on top of it, you have Happiness. Okay. I would say that it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. There's a lot of threes. You have 3 cards. There's 3 circles. 3 sets of flowers. Like all 3 cards have flowers. So the first card has the closed triangle at the top, but these two are both open. We all know that nothing happens over the holidays. Nobody does jack shit at the courthouse. I would bet in the next two weeks, 2 weeks and 3 weeks respectively, I would bet that you get the notice that things are going to go through, and then you get, I bet that they're probably not going to send you the entire amount. It's just so weird. And I don't mean that they won't. I just don't think it's going to be at one time, because it's so weird that this one is closed, but both of these two are like that, which makes me think that there's 2 different things that will come through. And I don't know if it has to go to your attorney and then go. You were hoping to have it for Christmas, but you've been seeing 333 a lot lately. Okay. The worker called and said that she would release it last week, but it didn't happen. I'm really kind of, I hate to say this, but I'm really kind of willing to bet that it's not going to be this week either. I'm betting that it's going to be next week. Just because, like, week 2 and week 3 are open at the top, whereas week 1 is like this. And I would bet that it's like a chunk on week 2 and a chunk on week 3. I do love the union aspect, especially when you asked on there if you can use it for manifestations. 100%. Because the union thing is the rhinoceros, you know, coming together. The dark and the light, like this. Oh, they normally split it. I don't know. I haven't dealt with any of that. You have an appointment to add your kids, which is separate. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I haven't ever dealt with it. I mean, I've dealt with like VA stuff, and they don't do anything fast at all. They don't do anything fast. I think it's funny I just said that, and you said it's not the VA when I got this. Yeah. Oh, they split your back pay over 3 payments. That's kind of ridiculous. That's actually really ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad you got it all, but that's ridiculous. I'm okay. Let's talk about the manifestation aspect before my brain goes like this. 100%. I think you can use it for your manifestations, but I'm gonna say but there. I would not sink all of it into that. I would sink a little bit of it into that, because you have happiness and you have grounding. So I would do something for you and your kids that makes you guys happy first. And then I would do something that helps you ground and feel more secure in who you are. That's what I would do first. Because I think, especially with there being 2 different parts to this, and then having this union card over here, putting some aside for this manifestation and what it is that you're going to be doing going forward, you're going to have to be careful with how you utilize that and how you put that to work for you. And then also, I mean, I just know from dealing with VA aspects, and you know too, because you've done that, you know. Yeah, I would do the front door. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Do something that makes you guys happy. It took like a long time for my ex-husband to get his VA, the back pay and stuff like that. Like, they fight you tooth and nail over it, even though they have all the documentation. They fight you tooth and nail over it. And one of the first things we did, I mean, we got the kids all, you know, picked them up from school or whatever, and we went and we just walked around. Like, they were younger, so, you know, the older two boys got video games, and Kirsten got a doll, you know what I mean? Like, we just went and just bought them all like one thing, went and ate dinner and went to a movie, you know what I mean? Like, we just had a family night. We just had a family night because it was such a relief to know that that was going to be there every single month. So do something like that. Like, do something like that. But then do something that is going to help you ground yourself. But 100% use it for your manifestation. 100%. 100% use it for your manifestations. And I'm so glad that everything went good. I'm so glad that you got it. I'm so glad that... I hate that it didn't get to you before Christmas. Like, that is kind of some bullshit. And I hate that. Aww. How old are your kids? So right. Well, like I said, I'm glad that I was right, and I'm glad I could help. I just hate that it wasn't like, you know, better, faster, 12 and 16. So they're old enough to kind of understand the situation then. That's good. Littler ones don't really pay attention as much, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I agree with Forking Crazy over there. Congratulations. That's such a big load off of your shoulders now that that's done. I know it is. I know it is. So. Well, that is my list for tonight, guys. I will be back. You got your first Social Security check. They're so hard to shop for now. Dude, you aren't lying right there, man. As my oldest, like Brody, he's always been easy to shop for. He's such an easygoing kid. Like, he's always been easy to shop for. Kirsten was easy until she turned 13. And then it was so hard. It's still hard. But, yeah, so I get that on a deep level. So, but I'm going to get off of here for the night so that way you guys don't see me yawn anymore. Oh, what the fuck? And I'm going to work on my schedule so that way you guys will have it. Please make sure that you guys follow your favorite creators everywhere. If you are not following me on YouTube, Instagram, all the things, please do so. I know, so I have all of the things. I have the Twitter, I have Pinterest, I have X, I have Twitter X, whatever. I have Threads, all that. Mainly I am on TikTok and YouTube, and really I'm trying to get all you guys on TikTok over to YouTube. So please, please, please make sure that you do that. Make sure you follow your favorite creators in all of their places too, just because you never know. You never know. Shit might change tomorrow. We're not going to manifest that though. Everything's great. All right, guys. I love you. I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you're not enrolled in classes, why not? Tomorrow at 10 is beginner mentorship, and I will see you guys. See you guys then. So, all right. I love you.